Giulia walked quickly along the crowded streets of Milan. The sound of horns and the buzz of conversations were constant, like waves of a rough sea. Every step was an attempt to escape the chaos inside her, to free herself from the grip of worry. The economic crisis was upsetting everything she had built with so much dedication. Do you want to discover how to face life's challenges with a serene mind? Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss these precious reflections. As an entrepreneur with a small, sustainable fashion company, Giulia had always been confident in her ability to manage the business, to create something meaningful and positive. Now, everything seemed fragile, uncertain, ready to collapse at any moment. She returned to the office every day with a tight stomach, fearing new bad news, new falling sales figures, new signs of instability. The company she founded with the hope of bringing about change in the industry seemed on the verge of bankruptcy. Giulia felt overwhelmed by the weight of responsibility, by the duty to guarantee her employees the security of a job and a salary. Questions crowded into her mind. What would she do if everything went wrong? Share in the comments if you have ever faced a similar crisis and how you overcame it. One afternoon, after yet another meeting where the forecast seemed to only get worse, Giulia decided to take a break. She left the office and walked aimlessly through the streets of the city. She came to a small square that she had never noticed before, a hidden corner away from the noise of the main streets. In the center of the square, a Zen garden struck her for its simplicity. The plants were lovingly tended, the stones were neatly arranged. She felt the need to get closer, attracted by that calm that contrasted with the chaos of her mind. Giulia entered the garden and sat on a wooden bench. She closed her eyes, letting the noise of the city dissolve around her. She breathed deeply, trying to find some peace in that moment of quiet. While she was there, an old man approached. His eyes were serene, full of a light that seemed to contain wisdom and understanding. "Welcome," she said with a gentle smile. "I'm Akira." Giulia looked at him, feeling a strange sense of trust growing inside her. Without knowing exactly why, she began to tell him about her job, about the economic crisis that was destroying everything she had built, and how the fear of failure took her breath away. Akira listened attentively, in no hurry to interrupt her. When Giulia finished, he said, "You know, the real enemy is not economic uncertainty. It's your fear of living in the present, your need to control everything around you. Life is like a river. Sometimes it flows placidly, other times it is in flood, but you can't stop it. You can only learn to swim with it." Those words hung in the air like a seed planted in Giulia's heart. In that moment, she heard a simple but powerful truth. All her pain came from her constant attempt to control what could not be controlled. All her life, she had believed that success depended on her ability to foresee and manage every detail. Do you also want to learn how to live in the present and let go of the need for control? Discover our videos on meditation and inner growth. In the following days, Giulia returned to the Zen garden. Each time, Akira guided her in meditation, teaching her to focus on her breathing, to observe her thoughts without judging them. At first, Giulia's mind was a vortex of worries, a raging river that dragged all her fears with it. But over time, she began to feel a change. The thoughts didn't disappear, but they became less oppressive, like clouds moving across the sky without completely obscuring it. During one of their sessions, Akira told a story. One day, a man went to the sea to escape his problems. He fought against the waves, trying to stop them with his hands, but the harder he tried, the more he was dragged back. Finally, exhausted, he stopped fighting and let himself go. It was then that he realized that the current was taking him in a direction he had never considered. Giulia listened, feeling that the story spoke directly to her struggles, and her attempts to force reality. Let yourself be inspired by stories of transformation and resilience. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss these life lessons. As she continued to practice meditation, Giulia began to see her situation in a new light. She decided to bring this approach to her work, to approach challenges with a calm mind and a new vision. She suggested that her team focus on what they could control: the quality of their product, the passion they put into their work, and the authenticity of their message to customers. She knew she couldn't change the market, but she could change the way they responded to it. It wasn't easy. Many of her colleagues didn't understand her new perspective at first. Some thought it was too idealistic, too far from market logic. But Giulia didn't let herself be discouraged. Resilience is a journey that takes time and dedication. Leave a comment and share your experiences with us. She continued to return to the Zen garden, finding new energy and inspiration every day in Akira's words. She learned that true change is not an instant victory, but a process of growth that requires time, patience, and an unshakable trust in the present. As time passed, Giulia's company began to transform. It wasn't a quick or dramatic change, but a slow awakening. Customers began to feel the difference, to sense the authenticity and passion behind each product. The economic crisis hadn't disappeared, but now it seemed less threatening, less capable of shaking the inner stability that Giulia had found. True strength lies in inner serenity. Are you ready to start your journey? Subscribe to never miss our next videos. As the sun sank below the horizon, Giulia felt grateful for everything she had experienced, for every lesson she had learned. She knew that life would bring her more challenges, but now she was ready to face them, not with fear, but with the knowledge that every day was a new beginning, an opportunity to live life to the fullest. Thank you for sharing this journey with us. Stay tuned for more stories of inspiration and personal growth. And in that moment, he understood that true success had never been about money or control, but about the ability to find peace in the present, to let yourself be carried by the flow of life with a serene smile.